Hey guys, Comet here. Welcome back to Alchemy Factory. This is episode 6 already. I just can't stop playing this game. I've actually got episode 5 rendering in the background while I record this. In this episode, now that I've got really good fertilizer production, I'm making a whole bunch of wood. Right now I'm just buffering it. It needs to be consumed. Otherwise, it's just going to eventually back up. If we take a look at the fertilizer line here, it's almost going non-stop. A little bit of stuttering. And that's because I redid the healing potions a little bit here. So I took the build that was over there, doubled it here. So now I'm producing 80 healing potions. I also redid the linen build, so I'll quickly go over what I did here off camera. I took all of the things I learned from the healing potion build and tried to incorporate them into the linen build. So the nurseries are stacked here. And they go into a matrix of grinders, 6 wide. Because 6 grinders does exactly 120, and that's what fits on a belt. So nursery 1 just runs across the bottom into some grinders. Nursery 2 runs across above that. And then the nurseries are stacked, but staggered in the belting there, so you can see how that all lines up. And then those just go into processor towers. And then the processor tower outputs just zigzag and go into the assemblers. And since this needs 120, a single belt can provide that to an assembler. So that just simplifies logistics a little bit there. And then those outputs just combine on this and go into all of the bandage makers here. Now I am consuming all of the bandages I'm producing because of the dispatch portal. And this is making exactly enough linen for these 4 bandage makers. So I don't actually have any extra linen to go to the shop. 1 rope maker is actually enough to supply the pulleys and the shop with rope. So I'm going to remove this second one here. And get this down. I guess right here is the only place I have space for it. Just put it where the old healing potion build was. And then this will be what feeds this linen line here. And then all of this linen will just go into bandages. I think doing segregated builds like that might be a little bit better. But that puts fertilizer into overdrive. I think I'm completely consuming all of the fertilizer I'm making now. Which is a good and bad thing. It means production is high, but it also means consumption is high. So tackling the wood buffer problem is my highest priority right now. So I'm going to grab some money. Got a little bit of gold here. Oh, I also redid the shop a tiny bit. People were complaining about the queue being too long. So I have 2 registers now to process people more quickly. And that goes into my giant gold buffer here, which has currently no money in it. Feels great. But I'm going to research the Shaper, the Jupiter, the Relic Shelf, and then finally the Knowledge Altar. Alright, and that should be everything I need to get the Jupiters going. So if we take a look at their recipe in the Shaper, it is 120 planks a minute, so that's just 1 full belt of planks. It is 60 wooden pulleys, and 180 small wooden gears. That totals 2.5 wood belts. So it wouldn't fully one shaper wouldn't fully consume all 4 belts from the fertilizer here. So I'm actually going to double this. And then supplement any missing wood with some table saws. Just doing regular logs. Actually, no. I need to think ahead. Right, the transformation potion requires gloom spores. And gloom spores take mushrooms. So rather than getting the extra wood from just plain logs, these 2 shapers will take the extra wood from the fertilizer and the transformation potion build. That way I end up with an excess of gloom spores, not an excess of wood. I think I'll start with the small wooden gears. That might be a little easier than the pulleys. Those are just built in processors, and processors stack really nicely with these stands. And the recipe is 5 large gears makes 15 small gears. So 180 divided by 15 comes out to 12. So I could stack these in a group of 6. And then double that, right, because I have 2 shapers. Now I just need some grinders to supply these. And the grinders make the large gears at a rate of 10 a minute. So 1 grinder can actually supply both of these. That's pretty convenient. So something just really simple like this would be perfect. Copy that. And that stacks really nicely. And the conversion of wood to large gears is 10 to 10, so 1 to 1. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that is half of a belt. That means all of this can be run off of 1 zigzag. Alright, something like that I think will work great. So it comes in on the bottom and then zigzags all the way up to the top, feeding all of these grinders, which will feed all of these processors. So half needs to go into the bottom one, and then the other half needs to go into the top one. I don't think belting that should be too complicated. Maybe I'll get this on the other side, though. It's probably going to be there. Now I need to do the pulleys. That is built in an assembler using rope and wood. This requires 60 a minute times 2, so 120 divided by 15. That is 8 assemblers doing pulleys. And I think I'll stack these like I stacked the assemblers for the fertilizer over here. Just instead of the long beams, I'll use the smaller ones. I think that'll reach. Yeah, perfect. So this, I'll move a little bit closer. I can just run that into there. And these top ones into there. I'm gonna need some flax to make the rope for all of these. And that's just a 1-to-1, 15 to 15. I'm making 120 pulleys. That means I need to make 120 rope. And the processor makes rope at 10 a minute, so that's 12 processors. So I need this stacked 6 high, and then doubled. That takes linen thread as an input, but that's just 1-to-1. So I can get another 2 processor towers. Something like that. That's as dense as I can make it, actually. That's pretty. Now these require 60 flax each, or flax fiber each. And that can be provided through 3 grinders. But a single belt can run 6. So I have this nice ratio here of 6-to-2. And I think I'll do another grinder matrix. And stack that. Beautiful. So each one of these lines needs to be fed from a separate nursery. Oh dear. So I can have this nursery feed that one. I'll need a little bit of a stagger. So the second set of nurseries can feed the in-betweens. So something kind of like that. Alright, and that should be all of the flax for the rope. Then I think all I need to do is connect up fertilizer, wood, and wood. Alright, so the gears are plugged in. Just takes wood input there. Pulleys. This is going to take some more fancy belt work. Well, rope will come along this way. Go into here. Wood will come from the other direction. And go in via elevators. Then I will copy that pattern up. And do something like this. So half of the rope will go into the bottom one, the other half from the top section will go into the top one. This is 2 separate wood belts. 1 wood belt, so that's 1 total of 3. Then 4 and 5. It's a total of 5 full wood belts. This produces 4 full wood belts, so I need 1 extra wood belt. And that'll just be 1 slice of the gloom logs here to produce the last full belt of wood. This I think I'll stack horizontally. I don't think vertically stacking this makes sense. So I'll just run the wood along the bottom and the mushrooms out along the top. And this will be what supplies the mushrooms for the transformation potions later on in the chain. So I'll get rid of this wood buffer. And just throw everything over here temporarily. Alright, I'm gonna take all of this and get it much closer. I think right about here is actually as close as I can make it. That takes one full belt of wood. We'll have the next belt of wood go up into here. This one will go into here. Then this final one, I guess needs to go... Huh. Wonder if I can run it back around... Yeah, I can run it back around this way. Just to go into there. And then that final input of wood for the second shaper will be supplied by, yeah, this over here. I'll just move the rope in a little closer. I'm not too sure how much space I'm going to need for the belt work. Hang on, let me do that first. But something like this should work. So those top two will go in, zag down, over, zig down, over. The bottom three will go into there, back that way, and then down that one. So this needs to be moved a little bit. So right about there should work. Just connect that in. That one will go into there. Then all I need to do is supply these with fertilizer. And I'm regretting the direction. Alright, I'm gonna take these. And I'm gonna put them on this side instead. Yeah, I think that's everything. I just need to connect up the fertilizer here. So I could just run out this way. And then do a switchback to get all of these nurseries fed. I need 6 flax seeds. And that'll get rope going, which should get pulleys going, which should get Jupiters going. For now, I'm just going to consume this buffer, run it straight into the top Jupiter maker, and then once the buffers are empty, hook up these. So, just a temporary line here. Something like that should be fine. Run that into there. I'm going to join the Jupiters together. And then with a priority splitter, I want to first send them into a little box. That way I can submit the quests if I need a Jupiter. But the final Jupiters will go... Oh, I guess I can get them onto the bus there, up and over, and then onto the main bus here. I'll try that. Just run this along this way. I think I'll actually come down right on the edge here. And run the Jupiters along this way to about here. And I should be able to get them down to here with a drawbridge. And this is for sure just a temporary setup here. How are we looking here? Why is nothing happening? Well, I'll let this run for a little while just to balance out. I'll work on the shop a little bit. I need to make some space for the Jupiters. And I can put them either here or in the center, maybe. Let's see how this looks if I put them over here. So using the relic shelf, I can get 1, 2, 3, 4, but not a 5th one. Okay. So I'll get in the tunnels. Here, 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 and here. I think I'll just have 2 slots for Jupiters for now. And then the next one would be the Mars, but that's in a whole another tech level, so that's going to be a ways away. This can run along the top, all the way to the end. I'll get in some boxes. Here and here. Actually, no, I just want 1 box. I'll do it in the middle. Because I don't want that big of a buffer for Jupiters. Because they're so expensive. It would take forever to fill up the buffer. I'll just continue that belt over to there. And that should auto-restock Jupiters now. Do we even have one yet? No. These take a crap ton of time to produce, so only 0.1 of a Jupiter is made per minute. That means it would take a whole 10 minutes just to make 1 Jupiter. And for some reason, these are stuttering every once in a while. Did I miscalculate something? It looks like it's the gears that it has the least of. 15 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, that's only 90. I need 4 towers doing small gears. Oh no. Oh, that is terrible. Oh, that's upsetting. That's okay. That's okay. I embrace adversity. So it will be 2 grinders into 4 processors. Like this. But this should be able to stack to the same height. It's just going to be twice as wide. Okay, let's try this again. So the grinders will take 10 wood in, and that's 2 per floor, and 2 times 6 floors is 12. That's the 120 wood. Okay. I should be able to just copy this zigzag here. And get it in place there. That saves a little bit of work. The input is there. Output. I need to work on the output. So it looks like I did top 3 and bottom 3. Okay, I think I have a better design now. One belt comes out here. One belt comes out here. And then that just needs to plug in to right here. So this whole thing here needs to be moved that way. Oh god. I think I'm going to cut the fertilizer and let it drain out so I don't end up with a bunch of crap in my inventory before I move it. You know what? This won't actually be as straightforward as I thought. I don't have a single belt won't supply 180 a minute. So even if I do swap this out, I'm going to have to split this up into 4 belts. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 layers. A 6 to 4. Oh, that is gross. Well, there is a way to do this. I don't know if it's the best way. Gonna get rid of that front part. The bottom ones will just come straight out. There's the belts of 4, or the 4 belts. This one will connect to there. And then the one above that can do the same thing. And the one above that. The one above that as well. This takes up a lot of horizontal space, which I'm not a fan of. But it is technically a 6 to 4 balance. So I will copy this and get it here, here, and here. That's not terrible. Okay, the rope has emptied out. I'm gonna move this starting here. Cut that and just get it out of the way. I guess over here. I'll cut the input to the pulleys. Let the wood drain out. Then I'll take this whole thing, move it further over here, and then the Jupiters. Yeah, that looks good there. Cut that. Okay, so this monstrosity here, this is what needs to go. I can't believe I overlooked that. I don't usually make those kinds of mistakes. But I'll get this new and improved gear producer. Right about here should be good. Now Jupiter production can line up, I guess about here is fine. That can just go into there, that can go into there. Actually, I'm gonna do this into there, and this into there. Because then I can come up and go over. I think like this. Now, yeah, I am bringing stuff down and then bringing stuff back up, but it's just easier to make things modular like this. I don't have to keep track of as much stuff in my head. That goes into there, and that goes into there. Okay, that solves the gear problem. So, pulleys, let's get those back in place. I can go right in there. Oh shoot, wait a minute. I need a wood belt to go... Okay, no, I could just do this. So that is actually going to go into there. This is going to go into there. And then this one, that was wrapping around before, is just going to go into there. Okay, and that will fully consume all 4 of these belts. I need to get the rope back in place. And that should connect in just right there. Beautiful. And then this top one just needs the wood from the buffer. Alright. Things are coming together now. Fertilizer will make its way back into the nurseries here. And I should see everything get back to work with no stuttering. The top one is working at 100%. Excellent. No stuttering there. The bottom one, just still waiting on a couple of pulleys. There we go. No stuttering anymore. I doubt Jupiter's will ever back up. Just because they're made so slowly. So I think these splitters here are actually unnecessary. But I'll leave them just in case. I'm not going to bother putting in like a trash barrel or anything. The only thing I'm concerned about now is a fertilizer. To make all the rope for the Jupiters is taking a little bit of fertilizer off this belt. So I'm curious if that's hurting my healing potion production. Yeah, it's looking pretty scarce by the time it gets down to here. The problem is that this is already making a full belt of fertilizer. So if I were to copy this whole thing, I would need to, well, first of all, make twice as many Jupiters. And then run like a supplemental belt into this here. So really, my limiting factor right now is belt throughput. So I don't think I'm going to bother with another fertilizer build. I think I'll just wait till I get the fertile catalyst. That's all the way down in level 7 here. This has a nutrient value of 24,000. Fertilizer, the one I'm using right now, only has a nutrient value of 720. So that is 2 orders of magnitude greater. Oh no, wait, there's the growth potion. I skipped a step. Forgot about that one. This is just 1 order of magnitude bigger. Okay, so in tech level 6, yeah, I'll get to the growth potion. And I'll put that on the fertilizer belt instead of fertilizer. Because switching what I'm transporting will just improve the throughput of the belt. Right, I'm transporting items that have a value of 6,400 instead of 700. But I'm really happy with this wood sink now. That'll keep fertilizer running to keep the rest of the factory fed. Getting Jupiters as a byproduct is great also. So I've just got a little box here. That way I can do some random quests if I need to. And then the rest of them just go into the shop. I wonder if I have any in there yet. Oh. Well, I kind of do. There we go. This wood buffer here is going to take forever to drain. So, I do need to get these in place, though. That way I can get into the transformation potion in the next episode. I need the gloom fungus from these table saws to get the gloom spores to finally make the potions. So I'll let this buffer drain out between episodes, consume all of that. That way this becomes necessary, and then I have a place to actually make transformation potions, which I've been teasing for several episodes now, but there's just other stuff that gets in the way. And I probably have enough space down here. I think I'll put these, like, right here. Because then I can just run this into the shaper there. And then right in here, I'm not too sure how much space this is going to take up, but this should be enough space right here. I mean, I don't want to make a full belt of transformation potions, but I do need something to go. So I am really happy with this build. Had a little bit of a problem with the gears. I still can't believe I made that mistake. But it's working now. Nothing is stuttering anymore. Have constant throughput. I think this is probably the best angle to see everything working here. But that's all I wanted to get done in this episode. So, thanks for watching. I hope you learned something, and I will see you in the next episode.